Hello, and welcome back to Game On, where we use sports and athletics to discuss everything related to mental health. So while I was at this international sports competition, which you've already heard about, I noticed something interesting. Every sport seems to have its own sounds of the game. I remember sitting by a volleyball game, and I haven't really watched that many, competitive volleyball games, and there's a bunch of grunting, and there's like one syllable words which I couldn't even make out that meant something to each other, and then they acted on it. You play hockey, they're yelling at each other this, this and that. In soccer, it's this. And every sport, if you just had the sounds of the game, then it would, and someone was mic'd up, you would have different sounds or different terms, or back in the day when Peyton Manning was playing, he would, Omaha was like, famous, calling things at the line of scrimmage and things like that. And it's interesting to watch, but it also speaks to how we communicate. And so if you have a team, if you have different athletes, and if you have a coach and their players that aren't on the same page of how they communicate, well, oh, you said this, but you meant this. Sometimes you'll see a quarterback and a receiver be like, okay, we're not on the same page. Sometimes it's even just a hand signal. So how we communicate, not just how we communicate, but the other party knowing what we're communicating is so important. And we don't communicate in the same way. When I say one thing, I mean this, but another person hearing that might interpret that as that. And when I hear someone say something, I interpret it as this. Like, I say what I mean what I say. But when someone says that, it doesn't carry the same meaning. So it's so important to take the time, whether it's with a partner in a relationship, or whether it's a friend or a teammate, a coach, work, to figure out their communication styles and what they mean when they say this before we jump to a conclusion. I can't tell you, even in an email, I can't tell you how many times we see that some major conflict or a buildup of a conflict could be avoided by just taking a little more time with communication. And it doesn't have to be so complex. Certainly some things are more sensitive and it's hard to do, and I get it. But just taking the time to communicate, to understand what the other person is communicating before we react or we take a certain meaning to it, and then which causes a reaction. It's worth the time. And so whether it's noises, whether it's hand signals, or whether it's language, how we communicate is so important, and it's worth it. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please like, share, all that good stuff. Have a wonderful day.